All right, Dynamite. This ain't going to be a long video. It doesn't need to be. I'm going to be honest here. The ending match, the last match, I was upset. I was angry. Legitimately. And it wasn't for what you think. A part of it, I was not happy about it because of its ending, but the match itself angered me. Let's start. Opening. Will Ospreay, Don Callis, the Don Callis family, and you guys tell me below. Do you like how Kenny Omega saying, Will, this is how things are done? You guys liking that? It feels so condescending. It doesn't feel genuine. It feels like he's reading a script. I'm being honest here. Now, did Will sound genuine? Yes, he did. His grandfather passing away last year. That hurts the heart. And even though it's last year, I still get my feelings for Will, saying, dude, I'm sorry you lost your grandfather. And he did make it clear that if his grandfather, when he was upset about it, talking about it, and saying if his grandfather was there while he was in the toilet, being upset and like he was crying, he said, what are you doing? Being upset and crying in the damn toilet? You got work to do. Get your ass up and start flipping around. I appreciated that honesty because there are some people that like that. Honestly, they are. They'll say, why are you crying because I'm dead? Keep living. If I was there, I'd smack you behind your head and say, what are you doing? And this is something that not everyone understands. When someone says this like that. When I was a kid, a little story. When I was a kid, I knew people like that. Friends of my mom. And that were soldiers. A few of them. Not many. That I didn't know how well she knew them. But I've seen them, and I remember them saying, if we died, I wouldn't want my family to sob and be crazy. I'd say, get on your asses and do your business. Don't worry about me. I'm gone. Remember me? Fine. But no crying your ass out. No crying your ass off. Just get the business done. And someone like myself who grew up in a black family, that is something also that is in the family. It's a double-edged sword. Not everyone can understand that kind of thing, that you don't stop your ass off, but they expect you, whoever that passed away, they want you to actually move on. And if they were alive and seen you act like that, either they give you a big hug and keep hugging you to make you feel better, or they smack you behind your head and say, what the fuck are you doing? Get up and get moving. One of the two. That's one of the disadvantages of, well, not saying black people can be they can be extreme, because there are some that don't have to be. But they can be very extreme, either incredibly over caring or completely callous and kick your ass while doing it. But that's how it is. Don coming out, talking about all the times that everyone succeeded was because he was there. And now you're trying to do this alone. Guess what? Ain't gonna happen. Seeing the Don Callis family beat him up, I knew that Kenny was going to come out. And he did with a pipe. He beat the crap out of them. And that is when you hear the condescending, well, Will, I heard what you said, but it doesn't sound like what it means. Will, I can't stand it. You're going to say, dude, this is the character. This is the part. Look, we've heard Kenny talk. We heard him talk mean. We heard him talk angry. We heard him talk like an asshole. That's not an asshole. It's not an asshole attitude. It's not a mad attitude. It's not a bad guy attitude. It's just like he legitimately is reading a script. Honestly, let's say it like this. You got someone who tries to imitate William Shatner. He's over 90. I think he's 94 years old. I hope he stays alive forever. As a Star Trek fan, I want to see Captain Kirk never die. But, as you know, everyone has tried to imitate James T. Kirk. And some people get it great. I don't. But there's some people that go, everybody knows how it is to be like Captain Kirk. They're reading a script. The condescending tone in his voice isn't something I hate. It's the delivery of that condescending tone I just don't like. It feels forced because it's like he's trying to remember his lines and trying so hard to sound so different. It sounds totally condescending. And mind you, that could easily be a prick attitude, which no problem with that. But the problem here is this. It just sounds like he's reading a script trying to be condescending and a prick. Not that he's trying to be condescending and a prick. There's a difference. Was the segment effective? Yes. But did I like it? No. It didn't feel genuine. It didn't feel organic. And yes, let's make it clear. Kenny is not a great promoist. He is not. He's okay on the mic. Sometimes he may be good, but he's never been great or outstanding. He's been okay, sometimes good. Here did not work. He just sounded like he was reading a script while trying to be condescending while remembering it. Moving on. First match. This match really didn't make any sense. Honestly, it didn't. It didn't make any sense. I'm not saying I hate it. It just didn't make any sense. You got the three-way for the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. Speedball Mike Bailey, MJF, and Nick Wayne. It was not the match quality. In fact, I liked the match quality. Nick got a chance to shine next to MJF and Speedball. He's younger than the two. He's still very young in the business. He's learned a lot about having character and to have charisma. He didn't have it when he first started a couple of years ago easily. He's got it. He worked hard on it. So I like him. But it's not the match quality. It's not that I didn't like Speedball and I didn't like Nick. And definitely everyone loves to hate MJF. It was the fact that MJF had to be in the match in the first place. Guys, what was the point of MJF dropping the damn title? And not going through the Casino Battle Royal. Well, Casino Gauntlet match, not Battle Royal. It's no different, actually. The Battle Royal, the Gauntlet match, it's the same concept. You're getting people to go through this system to do what they need to do to get the shot. And why? Why MJF like this? When many people still say 100%, and I agree with them, there should be a triple threat. Kenny, MJF, and a Will Ospreay. It should be a triple threat. You shouldn't have MJF do this. It doesn't work. It feels forced. Like they want to make it all about Will and Kenny, and then they're forcing MJF to do this, which we know he'll reach the end. And whether he wins or not is irrelevant. And I knew he was going to win the match. It was irrelevant. The match was great or good or all right. I liked the match. I actually did. But I knew before he even started, MJF was going to win. It was so telegraphed, so forced. I didn't like it. I just didn't. Moving on. You got Jericho versus Kevin Knight. And I don't know why they did Kevin Knight with Jericho. Honestly, I don't. Now, you could say, well, it's for a rub. Yeah. You could easily say that. But only 2 weeks before the match, 2 weeks before he and Darby Allin had this, I would have had more segments with Darby. Now, we did get a video pack from Darby in the back talking about, hey, I burnt it at both ends. I rode into the wheels fell off. I'm fine with it. I'm good with it. But you, Kevin Knight, I saw you years ago when you first started, the first few months, and I saw your potential. Now, with this, if I remember, he said Fall Count Anywhere. I think it was Falls Count Anywhere. I can't remember. But he's having a match with him. And he said, if you can beat me, you finally met that potential. Fine. I want more segments than matches. It didn't need to happen. And I understand Chris. He wants more matches to do. He doesn't want to just sit on his laurels. He wants to wrestle. I'm fine with that. But did you guys even believe Chris was going to win? I didn't. Not one bit, because the story that's selling right now, which I knew they were going to go for, because it's the only story they have, because they put Kevin Knight down this path. Kevin, obviously, when he attacked Darby and he talked about it, that was the story. The story is Kevin went up against Darby and pretty much made it clear it's going to be between them. I still stay, and I'm not changing my mind. They should have done, I wish they had done this between Speedball and Kevin Knight, and Darby got in part of it and then got dragged into it. That would have made it better. That Speedball got betrayed by Kevin, and then when Alan came to him and said, "What are you doing? This is your best friend. Come on. I know you since you first started wrestling." And you could see Kevin saying, "Yeah, you're right." And then nails him in the face and said, Don't you tell me anything. I am better than you." That would have been a better story than saying he was disappointed. Come on. It didn't work. But in the end, Kevin won the match. I was not surprised. I just wish it was not like that. The next match, and I want to be clear, I'm not going in order. First round, and that is for the Continental Cup. Guys, who did you care more about? Was it Jay White or was it Dave Finlay? Just be honest, tell me below which one you thought meant something more. It's not about who won their matches. Who felt more important? Who has been built? Who felt important? Guess what? Neither one of them. That was the thing that I went into that match with. They've had a feud together. The only thing they did was use New Japan as the catalyst for the feud. And I wanted something from AEW. I wanted a build from AEW. Have Dave Finlay be built up and they work together again. Or something other than what New Japan had built. Just like I always say. And I'm never going to stop saying this. Whatever the fuck you did before you entered the company means fucking nothing. It is about the new company you're in to build either a new character for you or build on top of the character you have made on the indies. It is still up to the company that you're now working for to make you important. And legitimately, neither one of them felt important. And that's so bad. I don't hate Jay White or Dave Finlay for that matter. I don't hate either one of them. But they feel completely blank. Because there's no story for either one of them. The story for the Bang Bang Gang has ran its course. I understand why the Bang Bang Gang is still there. But there has to be more for Dave Finlay. There's got to be more for... Why do you care about Jay White when there's just the Bang Bang Gang? That was it. And the feud that didn't really feel anything. Moving on. Now, let's talk about the tag match. I know I can talk about what happened with Chris. That was a short match with her and Viva Van. I believe that's the name. And I'm not going to talk about Mick Foley. There's no point. I'm going to talk about this first and what I think about this situation. And let's say when you look at PNS, which is Sheeta and Persephone, I kept mispronouncing. Guys, this cut was because I kept botching Persephone's name. I had to look it up and hear it because for some reason my brain could not get it. It's being dyslexic. Sometimes if you're dyslexic, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes words just don't come out the way you want, and you got to concentrate and repeat it multiple times before it comes in your head. Like Persephone. I've heard it multiple times. For some reason today, it just didn't want to come out. But still, let's make it very clear. Persephone, current world champion CMML, current champion of the Mexican National Championship, Thunder Rosa, and Maya Wolf, who's the current TBS champion. That was all that mattered. The match beforehand didn't really mean anything with Chris Statlander. It didn't mean a damn thing. It was just setting her up to go into that match, which is next week. Why? Will you wait only next week? Why are they not doing this on, why is it not at Wembley? Are they going to do some type of botched ending where one of the two are going to have to go to Wembley? Because that's the only reason it would make any sense. Why? It can't be because they're not going to have enough matches. We know 100% Tony's going to pack that damn thing with up to 10 to 15 matches. Well, 10 matches mainly. 10 mainly. But it kind of feels like it can be 15. Because they always do like a trios match or a 6-woman or 6-man or 10 men or 10 women. It's always something. So why not save this for Wembley? Why not save this? Unless I'm wrong and I misheard them say that it's going to go to Wembley. I heard them say it for next week. And I'm going, why? Why? Because we don't want to outshine. You can't have 2 women's matches on All In. You can't have Mercedes Moné and Willow, which we did see Willow get her clock clean with the, Own Heart Tournament title because, well, Mercedes was pissed off as hell. And I'm going to say this, I mean this. This, I'm not trying to sound like all I want to do is just get in the pants of Willow Nightingale. I mean, a lot of people would. I wouldn't be having a problem with it. But let's make this clear. When you saw Willow sitting there with Renee, you can't tell me that she looks like a model. She don't look that damn good. Now, for me personally, I actually have a cousin who's a model. She's been modeling for decades. And she's a wonderfully beautiful woman. And she's told me how it roughly it's like for modeling and what they look for. And honestly, she could be a plus-size model. A damn good-looking plus-size model. Beautiful face. Nice-looking body. Yeah, I had to say it. And she got her ass cleaned by Mercedes Moné. So they're trying to build that up. Fine, I have no problem with it. So why are we getting Maya World next week in a 4-way that could be left for Wembley? You're going to have a whole bunch of matches. You can't really keep the TBS Championship that unless they're going to be stupid enough to do a build-up. If Maya keeps her title, which I do believe she will, they're going to literally do another match at Wembley. Because something's going to happen that's going to be screwy, and it's going to be a 1-minute adding of the card for All In. And I'm going to be like, what the fuck? You couldn't even do that right. You can't even give us a fatal 4-way the right way. You got to do it like this. And then you're going to have a match at Wembley because you don't want to have 4 women in the damn match. It sucks. Moving on. Okay, final match. We get Mox versus Jack Perry. This is their... Guys, I'm angry. You know what? Wait. I am angry. But let's talk about the trios title. Let's talk about the trios. I'm going to talk about the trios. Oh, and I know about Andrade. Suppose he got sick and he wasn't there, but he will eventually come back. I'm hoping he's alright. He might have gotten food poisoning because if you guys don't know, there's been some problems with vegetables lately that a lot of people have been getting very sick and having explosive diarrhea. So hopefully he didn't eat anything that made him sick. I think it might have been. Hopefully he'll feel better and he's alright. But let's make this very clear. Let's talk about the trios match. That will happen. Eventually. You got the new trios champions. Brody, Bandito, and the guy that you decided to paint yourself into a corner, Hangman Adam Page. He looks out of place there. Why is he there? Because he has no option, because he can't go for a world championship. He can't do the TNT title either, because right now, it's around Kevin Knight's waist, and it's going to be a fight between him and Darby. He can't even go for the Continental title, because that's frozen now. So he's stuck with trios titles. Then you get a nice talk. It was fine. And he wanted to talk in Spanish, which he got cut off because Swerve comes out of the blue for no reason. And then he's talking to all 3 of them. He talks about Bandito. He and him tore the place down, but he beat him. Then Brody, he's known him for almost a decade now. They've had their feud. They went super hard. He beat him, and then he goes to Hangman and say, I turn my back for a minute, and you become champ. Well, I turn my back in a minute. You're champ, and then you lose it, and now on top of it, you lose your shot to ever go back to it again. And then, of course, Hangman talk back. But then you get the demand, and Jay Lethal's crew come out, saying to shut your damn mouths up. What is your problem? Swerve Strickland, why are you there? There's no point in being there. And here's the thing. Swerve calling pretty much a Ricochet bitch, I'm kind of glad about, because he's been a little bitchy lately, because you know how he talks online. But here's the thing for me personally. There's only two reasons why Swerve would go up to the trios, the trios champions. One, he's going to team up with the Hurt Syndicate, which really I don't want to see. I want the Hurt Syndicate to do their own business. In fact, I want to see one of them going for the world title and one of them going for the TNT title. I want to see Shelton Benjamin go for the world title, and I want to see a Bobby Lashley go after the TNT title. I'm being honest here. I believe they should be in those orders, not the reverse. Because have you ever seen Shelton have a title that's more than an IC? No, not unless you went to the Indies and watched. I want to see him get it because I do believe he deserves it. And when it comes to a Bobby, he'll be fine. He doesn't need it. He's been multiple time champion in WWE and in TNA. He doesn't need it. So seeing this, I don't want to see Swerve with the Hurt Syndicate and MVP. He doesn't need it. But then I thought this. There's only one reason he would do this. And the only thing I could think of, teaming up with the former New Day. Now, I believe they should be cleared by Wembley. That is what I believe. And if he gets a match by Wembley, it makes perfect sense. So I'm believing in the next 2 weeks, if I'm right, you're going to see Swerve again. But he's not going to be alone. Because he's going to be with the former Kofi, and he's going to be with the former Xavier Woods, who can go back to Austin Creed. He can go back to being Austin Creed. So if they don't do that, and they do the Hurt Syndicate, this felt like a waste. The Hurt Syndicate doesn't need to be working with Swerve to become Trios champions. All three of them should be champions. Give the Continental Championship to Swerve. Give the TNT title to Bobby Lashley. Give the world title to Shelton Benjamin. That I would see. 100% wouldn't have a problem with. Moving on. The final thing I'm going to talk about, which needs to be talked about. That first time match. Look. Hearing that. I know I can talk about the International Championship. I'm not doing it. We already know about the story between Okada and Fletcher. I'm not talking about that. I want to see what they're going to do next week. But here. Knowing on Collision they had 3 matches, Eddie Kingston is one of those people who is now in the running for the Continental Cup. Fine with it. Remember, he's the one that started it. So seeing him in this makes sense. Claudio makes sense. Orange, yes, it does make sense. But right now, seeing that Moxley had a match against Jack Perry where both of them have held every title in the company. They're not Grand Slam champions yet. They've held every title. But they've never faced each other in singles. Why? Why would you give this match away when you could actually make a story out of it? I'm not saying the Continental Cup couldn't exist. Fine. But you could make a story between him and Mox. A real story that should had happened or should happen. But no, we just get a match with no story. And they did a good job. Of course, Jack got busted open. I don't remember where he got busted open in. But the point here is this. It was a good match. They both got good chemistry together. Mox won, which I was not surprised. I was not expecting Mox not to win here. I'm telling you. If he had lost, that would have been something I would be happy about because one, it would give us a new Continental Champion. Two, Moxley could take a break. I would love to see Moxley just take a break, be with Renee, be with his daughter, and take a break. He's been going constantly for more than a year. More than a year, he's been in every segment and had a match on the show every single time. And if it wasn't Collision 2, he also did Collision and has done all the pay-per-views. He has been on every pay-per-view and he's been to every Dynamite and some of the Collisions. He needs a break. He's oversaturated. We see him too much, but the thing that kills me, that you had a one-time, first-time match that should have meant something, and it meant nothing. No story. What a waste. What a damn waste. I am not happy about it. It was stupid. But it's just me. You guys tell me below how you feel. Peace.